Your cat is licking your hand like you belong together. Then suddenly those tiny teeth tap your skin. So is this love or warning? That confusing switch feels personal to humans. But for cats, licking and light biting often sit inside the same intimate conversation naturally. In the feline world, grooming is social glue. Body language is fast, and affection can blend with limits, excitement, and leftover hunting reflexes. That is why one soft lick can feel tender, and the next gentle bite can arrive before you even realize the mood changed. Most owners think the bite means sudden annoyance, yet many cats are actually showing attachment first, then reacting to stimulation in a very cat way. To understand this habit, you have to read the whole sequence, not just the teeth, because the story starts with closeness first. A cat that chooses to lick you is usually treating your skin like familiar fur, folding you into a trusted circle of care. So before judging the bite, notice the invitation. Your cat came close, stayed near, and began communicating in one of its oldest languages. Among bonded cats, licking is part cleaning, part comfort, and part social reassurance, which is why many pets offer the same gesture to owners. When your cat licks your hand, arm, or hair, it may be saying you smell like home and belong inside its safe world too. This is not human-style kissing, but it is still affectionate, because grooming in cats usually happens where trust is already established. Sometimes the tiny bite that follows works like a grooming nibble, the kind cats use with close companions when cleaning gets slightly more intense. In that moment, your cat may not be rejecting you at all. It may simply be continuing the same bonding ritual gently. The message is less about aggression and more about, you are mine, you are familiar, and I know how to handle closeness. That is why some bites feel careful and measured, with almost no pressure, because the cat is still inside a social mood. Owners often miss this because human skin is not fur, so the same mixed grooming behavior feels sweeter, stranger, and sharper at once. If your cat stays relaxed, keeps its body loose, and returns to licking after the nibble, that usually means affection remained the center. Seen this way, the bite is not a betrayal of tenderness, but one rough-edged syllable inside a deeply feline love language. But affection is only one layer, because some cats become overstimulated while they are still enjoying contact, and the shift can happen fast. A cat may begin by licking with soft focus and calm posture, then gradually feel too much sensation building through touch, scent, and arousal. When that threshold arrives, a gentle bite can function like a break, a quick signal that says the interaction needs to slow down. From the outside, it looks like the cat changed personality in a second, but internally, it may just be moving from pleasure into overload. Cats are extremely sensitive to repeated petting, repeated scent contact, and prolonged closeness, even when they genuinely sought that closeness a moment earlier. That is why a loving session can suddenly stop at the wrist, because the cat has reached its private limit before you notice. The bite here is often mild, controlled, and brief, more boundary marker than attack, especially if the cat does not chase or escalate afterward. You can often spot the buildup in tiny signs: skin twitching, tail movement, ears shifting, staring, or a body that stops melting. In those moments, licking is still real, but the cat is also wrestling with rising intensity, and the bite becomes its punctuation mark. Some cats do this more than others because their tolerance for touch is lower, or because excitement travels through their body quickly. If you keep petting after that warning, the next bite may feel stronger, not because the cat became mean, but because it was ignored. So in overstimulation cases, the smartest response is respect. because your cat is not ending the relationship. It is ending that moment. There is another reason the lick turns into a bite. The playful predator inside the cat suddenly wakes up during closeness too. Cats can move from grooming mood to play hunting mood in seconds because their nervous system links touch, movement, and grabbing very naturally. Your hand is warm, alive, and moving just enough to trigger that old sequence. Notice, touch, hold, and test with teeth lightly. That does not mean your cat suddenly forgot affection. It means affection and play can overlap in a species built for fast reactions. Young cats do this often, but adults can do it too, especially when their energy rises while they are already engaged with you. The bite in this pattern often feels springy and playful, sometimes followed by paw grabbing, kicking, or a quick alert look afterward. Licking may come first because your cat is close and interested. Then the body flips into a miniature hunting rehearsal very suddenly. This is especially likely when fingers wiggle, sleeves move, or attention becomes more exciting than soothing, even though the mood still feels friendly. To a cat, play does not always arrive with clear warning music. It can bloom right out of affection and shared focus. If the cat loosens again after the bite, or shifts into batting and chasing behavior, play motivation was probably part of it then. In this case, the bite is less emotional boundary and more instinctive spark, a fast switch from social contact to playful capture. The safest lesson is simple. When affection starts turning bouncy, your cat may be inviting a different kind of interaction entirely now. Another layer behind the lick, then bite pattern, is control. Because cats often want closeness on terms they can regulate themselves comfortably. Your cat may approach, begin grooming, enjoy the connection, then use a gentle bite to say, "This much is fine, no more." That is not coldness. It is self-management, a way of keeping the interaction comfortable without leaving the relationship completely just yet. Cats are unusually sensitive to choice, and many of their social habits make more sense when you remember how much autonomy matters. A light bite can therefore act like a boundary line drawn in motion, especially when the cat stays nearby instead of walking away. It is the feline version of saying, "Stay close." But let me decide the pressure, the duration, and the shape of contact. Owners sometimes take this personally because the mixed signal feels unfair. Yet to the cat, it may feel balanced and perfectly clear. The cat is not confused about the relationship. It is managing the interaction moment by moment through the tools its species uses. That is why some cats lick, nibble, pause, and remain beside you. Because the goal was not distance, only control for comfort. When you respect that message, trust often deepens, because the cat learns it can communicate limits without losing safety or connection either. When you ignore it, the signals may become sharper, since animals often have to speak louder when softer language does not work. So the tiny bite can be a surprisingly polite sentence, one that protects the cat while keeping the relationship open for now. The hard part for humans is that all these meanings can look similar, which is why context matters more than teeth alone. You have to watch the body before, during, and after the bite. Posture, tail, ears, eyes, tension, and what happens next immediately. A relaxed cat with soft eyes and easy movement is telling a different story from a stiff cat with fixed stare there. A bite followed by more licking usually lands in bonding or overstimulation territory, while a bite followed by pouncing leans toward play. A bite followed by retreat, hiding, flattened ears, or repeated striking may suggest discomfort that is stronger than the moment seemed first. That is why one behavior cannot be translated correctly without its surrounding rhythm, because cats speak in sequences, not isolated gestures alone. The same light bite can mean love. The overload, play, or a boundary, depending on what the body was saying beforehand already quietly. That complexity is exactly what makes cats seem mysterious, when often they are actually being precise in a language humans read late. Once you stop asking only "Does my cat like me?" you start hearing the richer question of what kind of contact it wants. And that shift helps you respond better, because the goal is not proving affection, but understanding the terms under which affection stays comfortable. In many homes, the biggest improvement comes when owners stop reading every bite as rejection and start reading it as information instead. The cat has been communicating all along, but the message becomes clearer when you watch patterns instead of reacting to surprise first. So what should you do when your cat licks you and then nips lightly, and you want to respond without damaging trust there? First, pause your hand and let the moment breathe, because stillness helps you see whether the cat wants space, play, or more closeness. If the body softens again, you can stay nearby without pushing, allowing the cat to restart contact on its own terms comfortably. If the cat becomes alert, twitchy, or playful, shift the interaction instead of insisting on petting, because the original mood has ended. A toy can help when hunting energy is rising, since it gives the cat something appropriate to grab instead of skin there. If overstimulation seems likely, shorten future petting sessions and stop while the cat is still comfortable, not after discomfort appears for it. If bonding seems to be the meaning, enjoy it. But remember that even affection in cats often comes with built-in limits. The best response is not to punish, scold, or pull into drama, because that can turn a small message into stress fast. Instead, answer the behavior with calm adjustment, showing your cat that communication works and that you can listen without conflict or fear. That is how trust grows in a cat home, not through constant touching, but through respecting rhythm, choice, and changing states daily. Still, not every lick then bite sequence is harmless, and patterns matter when the pressure increases or the context turns tense suddenly. If the bites are hard, repeated, paired with growling, hiding, pain reactions, or sudden sensitivity, something more than normal communication may be happening. Medical discomfort, skin irritation, stress, fear, or frustration can all shorten a cat's patience and make contact feel harder to tolerate suddenly. When the behavior changes sharply from your cat's normal pattern, the most useful question is not "What did I do?" but "What changed?" So trust your observations, especially if the bite no longer looks gentle, predictable, or clearly connected to ordinary licking and play anymore. Healthy communication usually stays measured, while pain or serious stress tends to make the whole body look more defensive or distressed overall. For most affectionate cats, though, the lick then little bite is simply a mixed sentence, not a hidden sign of dislike toward you. It can mean "I adore you," "I am full," "I am excited," or "Please let me manage this contact my way today." That blend is exactly what makes cats so fascinating, because their tenderness is real, but it is always filtered through instinct first. They do not separate love, limits, and play as neatly as humans want, so one small bite can carry several truths at once. When you learn to read the sequence, instead of reacting to the surprise, your cat stops seeming moody and starts seeming honest. The lick welcomed you in, the bite added detail, and together they revealed a relationship built on closeness, sensitivity, and choice too. So the next time your cat licks you and then nips, do not ask only whether it loves you. Ask what it means. Very often, the answer is beautifully cat-like. Affection, instinct, and boundaries speaking at once through one tiny, confusing, unforgettable mouth to you.